Alright, so I'm gonna be doing a brief reflection on a lesson plan I found on readwritething.org. So this lesson plan focuses on the students doing a analysis on a protest song, and this lesson works best after um, the students read a piece of literature that focuses on a character going up against social and political norms such as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. So, just jumping right into it, you'll notice that the standards aren't Alberta standards, and that's to no surprise. This was a lesson plan that was written by someone in the US, but however, that's not really that important in that I'm not going to be focusing on the standards, I'm more so focusing on how AMR and the TPAC is incorporated into all of this. So in the beginning, just like in the materials and technology that are needed, um, you'll notice that the teachers have to print out copies of these two wikis for their students. And instead of printing them out, you can simply just put them online, and that'll just or use technology as a substitution. It really doesn't add anything more into the content. All it does is it just saves some trees, which I guess isn't a bad thing. So in the preparation, you get a general gist of how technological heavy this lesson plan is going to be. So it does require the teacher to have a lot of technological knowledge. The teacher needs to be able to know how to set up wiki accounts. Also, they have to be able to know about Flash plugins and like keep them up to date in the computers that the students are going to be using. So the lesson is broken up into two classes. In the first class, the teacher just needs to teacher has to place a Kanye West song for the student called Diamonds from Sierra Leone. And that's just some technological knowledge, and that the teacher needs to be able to know how to pull up this song from the internet or from any free music source like Spotify or the such. And there's some content knowledge in the first day as well, in that the students do get to pick their own songs that they're going to be analyzing. So this teacher needs to know the context in which these songs were written, so they could have a better understanding of what the song's about, as well as being able to help their students better. Um, the students are also asked to just go in front of the class and tell the class which song they chose and the artist who wrote it. Instead of doing this, it'll be a lot more easier to just make Google Docs in which students just write down the song and the artist as well. That this allows students to help one another and just like say, hey, I know that song, and like it was written in this context. So it just helps the students under, just helps the students help each other. So this would be a form of augmentation by introducing technology into the classroom. Carrying on, in the second day, it starts off with the teacher handing out those two wikis. Once again, if it's on the internet, it just saves some trees, and like the students can read it before class if they want to. And as you'll notice from this slide, there's a lot. This lesson is really heavily dependent on a teacher's technological knowledge. There's some technological knowledge spread out. There's some technological content knowledge, technological pedagogical knowledge. But there is one place where I did see all of this come together, and that was in number 6. So the teacher is supposed to discuss a wiki article by Jennifer Duro, and it requires a technological knowledge in that the teacher has to be able to pull out this wiki article and read it with the students. It has some pedagogical knowledge in that the teacher has to be able to lead the discussion and moderate it, make sure it stays on track, and make sure the students get out of the discussion what they need to, as well as that it requires content knowledge in that. The teacher needs to know what the wiki is on so they can also help their students understand what's going on and they can better lead the discussion. Also, this wiki just so happens to be on how to properly say safe on the internet. So then once again, that would come into the teacher's technological knowledge as this is something they should already know and make sure their students are also safe on the internet. Carrying on, once again, you'll see some technological knowledge and technological pedagogical knowledge. So that's essentially the entire um, lesson. So one thing I did notice about this lesson is that it seemed like it was already redefined or at least modified with the use of technology, so there wasn't really much that I could add more to it in terms of the SAMR. So I did not, which did lead me into noticing a lot more of the TPAC and especially technological knowledge in this lesson. So with that, that's just my reflection on this lesson, and yeah.